What is going on, guys? Johnny on the track, back with another video. And today we are talking Mexico City and the Mexico City NASCAR race, coming off a good win last weekend where we had Denny Hamlin to win that thing. We also had Bubba Wallace for a top 10, finished up about 3 units. If you followed the final card on at JOTT underscore podcast on X and Johnny on the Track on Action Network. So really, really good, solid betting weekend for us at Michigan, which was exciting. But now we have a brand new racetrack on the schedule. We haven't raced here since the mid 2000s. And that was only in the Xfinity series. We are going to Mexico City for a sort of street course-esque track, road, street course. You kind of classified in both manners. Um, I do want to preface by saying I'm battling the flu. I've got terrible flu-like symptoms. So this isn't really going to be, as in depth as I usually do. But I do feel pretty confident about the card. And of course, as I mentioned, final card comes Johnny on the Track on Action Network and at JOTT underscore podcast on X. So that's where you can keep up with everything that I'll be doing and betting for this weekend. It's a really, really big weekend for NASCAR as they head internationally for the first time in a very, very, very long time. Overall, and I tweeted this and I believe this, I feel this. I think this is going to be a wild card race, and I think we are going to get a new winner. And what I mean by that is just a guy that hasn't won this year yet. So could be a guy like Tyler Reddick, could be a guy like Chase Elliott, an SVG, an AJ Allmendinger. Just to name a small group there. But that is how I see this race going. I think as we look always at some of these new events, these new tracks, this is what happens, right? We kind of get a little bit of a shot in the dark, especially with a road course. When Chicago was added to the schedule, rain in the forecast. We had a lot of rain. It was a wild card. We had SVG ended up winning his first Cup race last year. Again, similar thing, right? Still a new track being Chicago, more rain in the forecast, bit of a wild card. And Alex Bowman got a win there. So again, I think with a different track, something that these guys are not accustomed to, not much sim time, not much practice time. It really is everybody on an even playing field, and like I said, that's why I think we're going to see somebody who has not won this year win this race. I'm going to start with, I think, the most popular guy this weekend, and that is SVG. I think overall, I definitely wanted to talk about SVG. I want to get the most up-to-date number via DraftKings. He's plus 330 to win the race on DraftKings Sportsbook. I saw like plus 400 at points, but I like him. I like him this week, but to me, I just can't take plus 330. I can't do that. I'll live with, not betting on him and he ends up winning. I just it's not it. You guys know that's not what I do. If I want to find plus 330, I can go bet an MLB game tomorrow night, and I'm sure one of the underdogs can win it. One of the MLB games. We don't bet NASCAR for that, so that's how I look at that. I think there are still different ways you might be able to bet SVG. For instance, maybe a group bet, him up against three or four other drivers to finish the highest. Maybe that's around plus 200, plus 175, something like that. Or if they have, oftentimes you see like a driver to lead the most laps or, something fun like that. Maybe you could bet the over on that and feel confident. That to me is more of how I would approach betting on SVG. But from a money line standpoint and an outright standpoint, you're not going to find me betting on SVG at this moment. Now, maybe things shift, things change, and he's closer to the plus 500 number, and maybe I might look into that. But overall, I have to avoid SVG. My favorite bet of the well. I guess should I? Yeah, I guess I can say that. My favorite bet of the weekend, and a guy that I'm rooting heavily for in this scenario, in this situation, a guy that's won here, I think just twice, but still twice in the NASCAR Mexico series. That is Daniel Suarez, and to me, this is his chance to cement a historical legacy. It's his chance to save his future, to kind of mortgage his future. He is a proven road course racer. He won at Sonoma. In the next gen era, he nearly won at Indy a couple years back. He actually won the pole at that race. And it came down to him, Michael McDowell, and Chase Elliott. He always qualifies well. This is his home track. He's going to be in front of the home fans. I mentioned he's won here in the Mexico series. The tough thing is he's up against his teammate, right? He's up against his teammate SVG. And normally, if SVG had a win and Ross had a win, all the resources would go to him. But they do have to balance out the resources to him and Shane. Now, I say that by also preface, or I should add rather, that, my perspective on this is there's going to be quite a few more opportunities that I'm sure they feel like SVG can win. And I feel like all of Trackhouse is going to be rooting and helping out Daniel Suarez to win here. So I think more of the resources, especially from Ross's car in team, are going to be helped on Suarez with a little extra emphasis on Shane as well. But as I mentioned, I think overall for Daniel Suarez, this is his best chance to win a race this season. It's a track he knows well. It's a track, or it's a style of racing that he's proven to win at in the Cup Series in the next gen era. So overall, Daniel Suarez, the numbers floating around. I think I got it right around, did I get it at 16, 17? Let me make sure. Um, is this gonna load for me? Sorry about that, guys. I got it at 16. I see it now at 14 on DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm gonna take one more look on Rhode Island Sportsbook. It's down to 12 to 1. So he has been bet around. I got him at 16. I would take him probably down to about 14. So, I think, yeah, right at DraftKings, the number right now, I would still take. I think that's a good solid number for Daniel Suarez to, like I said, cement a historical legacy to be a Mexican born driver to win in Mexico in the Cup Series. I mean, just saying that out loud, I think would be a monumental win for NASCAR and for Daniel Suarez for the sport. I think we would see that on ESPN and like ABC. Like I actually think they would talk about that because it would be such a historic thing for our sport if Daniel Suarez were to end up in victory lane. So like that a lot. Kyle Busch, KFB, fastest car at Coda, screwed with a late strategy change, and I think it was a caution that screwed his race. But so fast at Coda by every metric. He was the fastest car. He's actually also won here in the Xfinity Series, albeit a little different configuration when Kyle won, but he does know what it takes to win here, to get it done. He's won across the border. And as I mentioned, he had a hot rod at Coda. So if they bring a similar car to to Mexico this weekend, I expect Kyle Busch to be very, very good. He's got 5 top 5s at road courses in the next gen era. So obviously has brought speed to a lot of these tracks. And I think overall, we're going to see Kyle Busch contend for the win this weekend in Mexico City. Another guy that I absolutely love this weekend. And then I'll add another guy that is just really, really high on my list. That's Tyler Reddick. Now, we haven't really seen Tyler Reddick leave his mark on a road course since about 2023 when he won Coda that year. But he was very fast at Coda earlier this year, nearly won that race. He was great at Chicago last year, should have won that race, made a small mistake that ended up, getting Bowman the win. So speed has been here at the road courses, really just hasn't been able to put together a full race since 2023. He's got the second highest driver rating in the next gen era at a 103.9. He's got 12 top 10s, seven top fives, and three wins in 16 starts. He average finish right at 10.2, which is only behind Busher and Chase Elliott. So, he has been really, really elite. He's led 198 laps in the next gen era at road courses. That is number one. His average start is 3.9. So I read you all these metrics to say that Tyler Reddick, you feel like at this point is due for for another next gen road course win. Toyota has been exceptional at the next gen road courses, especially in the last 2 years. We saw Christopher Bell win at Coda earlier this year, and I have, really, really high expectations for Tyler Reddick. Also, 2311s were the top two qualifiers at Coda. It was him and Bubba Wallace. So just shows you that they brought the speed all weekend. The last time we were at a road course back in March. So Suarez, Kyle Busch, and Reddick, I would say, are my three favorites. I'm looking at kind of long shot guys that have not won a race yet. So, what do I have? Here's who I've already betted, which is going to sound crazy, but we obviously won last week, so that always helps. And I think there's a lot of guys on this list that hold really good value. Chase Elliott, 10 to 1. I have a bet on him. AJ Allmendinger, 14 to 1. I have a bet on him. Tyler Reddick, as I mentioned, at 8 to 1. Got a bet on him. McDowell, 25 to 1. Great number for Michael McDowell, who's won Indy and where does he rank? About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh overall in 16 races in the next gen era with a driver rating of 91.5, above guys like Larson, Kyle Busch, Truex, Suarez, Austin Cindric, solid road course racers, even Ty Gibbs. So McDowell, I feel like could win at 25 to 1. Daniel Suarez, I mentioned at 16. And then Kyle Busch, I found at 22 to 1. That's obviously been bet way down. But I throw those names out because to me, I'm looking outside the box here. I just feel like this is going to get a little funky and we're going to find somebody, and it could be SVG, as I mentioned, but I think we're going to find somebody to steal the show that we have not talked about earlier this year. I don't think we're going to see Bell. I don't think we're going to see Ryan Blaney or Denny Hamlin or Kyle Larson. I just don't see it. I think this is going to be a more outside the box race. There seems to be some rain in the forecast, so that could play out with multiple different scenarios and situations. We have to be mindful of that. But I mentioned again AJ McDowell, Elliott, Ty Gibbs. I think is one that could steal the show. Those are all guys that I think if you want to place a bet on those guys, I think it's a good look because there's a lot of value all around the board. Now, some of these guys, as I mentioned, have been bet down. You talk about Suarez, Kyle Busch, but I think you can still find the right numbers before practice and qualifying as well as post practice and qualifying. There's going to be extra practice time, so definitely keep your eye on that. The one guy that I think has a win this year that I could see stealing the show is William Byron. I think Byron is due. He has brought top tier, top three speed to every single track. It's like him and Blaney. Everywhere we go, they seem to be fast. William Byron, to me, is due for a win. I think he is steady Eddie, Mr. Consistent. And to me, he's a guy where if things get crazy, especially this year, they don't really seem to affect that team. Now, I know he only has the one win at Daytona, but he has been so solid. And to me, again, if things get crazy, I feel like I can count on William Byron to not feed into the craziness. So William Byron to me would be the guy that I would take I think he is 7 to 1, 8 to 1. He's 9 to 1. So really solid number on him. He was a very, very fast car at Coda. And, again, we look at a guy who's won two races in the next gen era on road course. He's got six top fives, which is tied third in that category. Driver rating of 92.8, only behind Reddick, Elliott, Bell, Allmendinger, and Buscher. So overall, I think you can't go wrong with a lot of this board. But to me, my favorite three are Daniel Suarez, Kyle Busch, and Tyler Reddick. Those are my three this weekend. But I've got a big card. You're going to see it uh, on probably Saturday, maybe Sunday morning. And that's Johnny on the Track on Action Network at JOTT_podcast. I didn't think I would do the show as long as this was, but excited for this weekend. Think it's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, I guess I'm battling through being sick, but I'm gonna give you everything I've got. So, appreciate you guys watching. As always, give this video a like; it goes a long way for the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below for more motorsports content. And I want to know what you guys think. What do you think? New race winner? Put it in the comments section below. Or if you feel like maybe it's Larson, maybe SVG all the way, even at only plus what, 320, 350, you feel confident that he's going to steal the show on Sunday in Mexico. So, as I always say, the final words I've got for you guys this weekend is let's win some money. Thanks for watching.